Today we're joined by special guest St. Martin de Porres. Famous for his interest in peace, his charity towards the poor and for animals, and his ability to fly. St. de Porres defied social normalities of his day. He is here today to tell us more about himself. Welcome.
Good morning, St. Martin. We are so excited to have you here with us today. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Thank you. I'm St. Martin de Porres.
Could you tell us a little bit about your childhood?
Sure. I grew up in Peru. My mom was a native and my dad was a Spanish colonist. And I actually got the attributes of my mother, which is the dark hair and dark skin.
I heard you were ridiculed for this at the time. Is that true?
Yeah, it was. I was actually called a half-breed and a war souvenir. It greatly affected me as a child, and it continued throughout my whole life. I tried to not let it affect me because I knew I was a child of God.
Well, that must have taken a lot of courage.
Yes, it did, but I tried to understand the people who were unkind to me. I prayed for their education and for God to forgive them. When I was 12, my mom actually had me become a barber's apprentice.
So you learned to cut hair.
Yes, but I also learned to take care of and treat people who were sick or hurt. I became very knowledgeable about medicine, and I applied these skills that I learned here throughout my life, especially when I took care of the poor and my brothers in the convent.
And how did you get into your convent?
Well, unfortunately, they didn't let me into the convent at first. They did not want someone of mixed race in the convent, which was at the time all white men. They made me feel like I was not worthy of becoming a full brother of the church. However, I decided not to give up, and using my right judgment, I said that I would work in the convent as a caretaker or servant.
So you spent your whole life as a servant?
No, actually. I eventually I was accepted into the convent when they realized that I had to do my best to pray.
Okay. And what did you do after you were accepted fully into your convent and you weren't a servant anymore?
I devoted my life to taking care of the poor and children. Since I knew how much harsh words and discrimination could hurt people, I worked very hard at making sure everyone was treated fairly and with kindness. Not to brag, but my biggest accomplishment is the orphanage I helped create.
Wow, I had no idea you founded an orphanage.
Well, I did. I took care of the slave children that got off the boats of Africa. I was a caretaker to the children and made sure they felt safe and accepted in the new place.
So you seem to have a reputation with animals. Could you discuss this a little?
Yes, I believe that God's love and charity extends to all of his creatures. I fed and cared for all the creatures I met, even the mice in the convent's kitchen. Some would even say that I could talk to them.
And in your icons, you are often displayed with a mouse and a cat drinking out of the same bowl, a dog at your side, and a broom. Is there any special meaning to this?
In a way, yes. These animals aren't known to be friendly to each other, but in my presence, I hope they can all get along. The animals together are a symbol of peace. I was a strong advocate for peace between all people in all communities. God wants all people to love each other, and I felt that God called me to help him make peace on our earth.
And what about the broom?
Well, the broom is a good symbol for a couple of reasons. The first is that I started my brotherhood doing lowly jobs in the convent, such as sweeping. It is a symbol of where I came from in my journey. People say that it is a representation of my humility and reminds them to be humble.
Right.
The second reason is that I always carry a broom. Is because I believe that all my work is for God, even the trivial work.
Very interesting. What do you think the most important work is that we can do for God?
I feel that God wants us to serve the poor. I strongly felt that God also called me to take care of the poor, and I devoted my life to caring for them as God wanted me to. Other than the orphanage, I also worked to help young girls make enough money to leave their father's house and to marry or move to the convent.
That's very generous of you. Did you receive any awards for your service?
Oh, I don't need rewards. Some members of my religious group began to regard me as their religious advisor, but I didn't feel worthy. I must remember my upbringing and that God always reminds us to be humble.
Okay, well, our time is almost up. Do you have any final words or a fun fact about yourself?
Yes, I would like to remind everyone to live the life that God wants. We need to be humble and respectful to each other. The latter is especially important. God accepts and loves people from all over the world and from all walks of life. It is unfair for us to discriminate against others. I want to offer my support for those who are discriminated against and tell them that God calls them to forgive and to love.
I agree. And what about a fun fact about yourself?
Well, I'm actually the patron saint of African Americans, barbers, and missionaries.
Very good. Unfortunately, our time is up. It was wonderful to meet you today and learn about your life.
Thank you for inviting me. I enjoyed my experience. I enjoyed sharing my experiences with you.
That was our local reporter talking to St. Martin de Porres about his experience in his life lessons. What an excellent example of life truly dedicated to his work and to God.